Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat to sign Kashad Johnson, Zion Pullen, Bryson Warren. Fresh off the end of the 2024 draft, the Heat have agreed to sign a trio of undrafted free agents to new contracts. Miami has reached agreements with Arizona forward Kashad Johnson and Florida guard Zion Pullen on two-way contracts, according to Shams Charania of The Athletic and Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports, Twitter links. A 6'7" swingman, Johnson played for San Diego State across his first 4 seasons of NCAA eligibility before using his bonus senior season to transfer to the Wildcats. In 2023-24, he posted averages of 11.5 points, 5.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.0 steals, and 0.7 blocks per game, with a shooting line of .530/.387/.710. Pullen, an All-SEC honoree this past season, similarly enjoyed a 5-year collegiate career. He played for UC Riverside from 2019 to 23, then transferred to Florida this past season. With the Gators, the 6'4" guard averaged 15.5 points on .444/.449/.847 shooting, a lug with 4.9 assists, 3.9 rebounds, and 0.9 steals per contest. He started in 27 of 33 games in 2023-24. Meanwhile, sources have informed Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype via Twitter that Miami has also agreed to sign Bryson Warren, who played on the Heat's Bagel affiliate, the Sioux Falls Skyforce, before declaring for the draft, to an Exhibit 10 deal. Warren, a 6'3" combo guard, averaged 7.8 points, 1.9 assists, 1.6 rebounds, and 0.8 steals in 17 regular season games with Sioux Falls, posting a shooting line of .381/.306/.778. Exhibit 10 contracts can be converted into two-way deals or can set up a player to earn a bonus if he's waived and then joins his team's Bagel affiliate. Miami signs versatile forward, Heat culture fit following NBA draft. The Miami Heat wasted little time in making their first free agency move post the 2024 NBA draft. Miami signed Kashad Johnson to a two-way contract on Thursday, June 28, following the completion of the second round, per Shams Charania of The Athletic. Johnson, who turned 23 years old just over 1 week ago, played his 5th collegiate season for the Arizona Wildcats in 2023-24 after spending his first 4 years in college with San Diego State. Johnson averaged 11.5 points, 5.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 1.0 steals last year, while connecting on nearly 39% of his three-point shots, of which he attempted a career-high 2.6 per game. SDSU listed Johnson at 6'7" and 225 pounds 2 years ago, which suggests he has both the size to bang on the front line against select opponents in the league as well as the range and accuracy to keep the floor spaced on offense. Jonathan Givney of ESPN shared high praise for Johnson on his Draft Express X account, describing him in a manner that vibes well with the infamous Heat culture. Kashad Johnson brings plug-and-play, two-way versatility with his outside shooting, passing, explosiveness, and non-stop physicality and defensive intensity, Givney wrote. Johnson is likely to spend time with the Sioux Falls Skyforce, which functions as Miami's G League affiliate. Joining him, there will be another undrafted free agent in Zion Pullen, an All-SEC guard with the Florida Gators last season. Miami Heat star Bam Adebayo. The biggest pieces of contract news for the Heat, however, came from a deal that got done with star Bam Adebayo, as well as one that apparently won't be completed anytime soon between the team and its leader Jimmy Butler. Adebayo agreed on Wednesday to sign a 3-year maximum extension worth $166 million to remain in Miami, according to The Athletic. The Miami big man has made one of the NBA's all-defensive teams on 5 occasions and has been an all-star 3 times over. He put up 19.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.1 steals and 0.9 blocks per game last season, according to Basketball Reference, and has been a key part of 2 Heat runs to the NBA Finals over the past 5 years. Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler. Meanwhile, Butler won't get the 2-year, $113 million deal he'd hoped for from the Heat this summer, saying instead that he will not seek an extension anywhere this offseason. His decision to play out next season commits him to Miami and clears up any notion of a trade demand due to the lack of an extension, Shams Charania of The Athletic reported on Wednesday. Butler has an affinity for Miami and has wanted to stay with the Heat, league sources said. Just because Butler won't seek a trade doesn't mean the Heat won't eventually shop him. Butler has 2 years remaining on his $146.4 million contract, but the final season includes a player option, which will allow Butler to enter free agency next summer. If Miami doesn't find a deal for Butler this offseason or ahead of next year's trade deadline and also fails to come to an agreement with him on an extension, the Heat risk their leader of the last 5 years leaving South Florida for nothing in return. Warriors name top landing spot for $146 million Klay Thompson replacement. The Golden State Warriors remain among the most likely NBA suspects to trade for a star this summer, and the realistic options are becoming increasingly clear. Despite an aging roster, they still have Stephen Curry near the top of his game, which means the right players around him can give the Dubs a puncher's chance to get back to the top of the Western Conference. Adam Wells of Bleacher Report suggested on Wednesday, June 26, that the Bay Area was one of only a few ideal landing spots for Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat following the conclusion of this week's draft. The Warriors could have a need for help on the wing if they lose Klay Thompson in free agency. There are rumblings they could try to make a push for Paul George if he opts into his $48.8 million salary for next season to facilitate a trade from the Los Angeles Clippers, Wells wrote. If that pursuit doesn't pan out, Butler would be a nice fallback option for a Golden State team that needs to take a big swing if it wants another shot at competing for a title while Stephen Curry is still in his prime. Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. Butler won't seek an extension from the Miami Heat this summer, per Shams Charania of The Athletic, despite reports that he'd spent weeks pursuing a 2-year, $113 million agreement from that organization to guarantee him huge money into his late 30s. What that means is the 2-time NBA Finals participant, 2020, 2023, can, and almost certainly will, opt out of the final year of his $146.4 million agreement next summer and look for the greenest pastures he can find, financially speaking, in free agency. Heat team president Pat Riley has said the Heat have no interest in dealing Butler, soon to be 35 years old, this summer or ahead of the trade deadline next season. However, Riley has also not shied away from the fact that one of the reasons he refuses to extend his star player is the number of games Butler has missed due to injury. He's appeared in more than 60 regular season contests for the Heat just once in 5 years. That said, Miami has not remained competitive over the last 30 years by letting assets with massive value, Butler, to semi-desperate teams, the Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers and Philadelphia 76ers, leave in free agency for nothing in return, which is exactly what will happen if the Heat let Butler play out this season without a trade or an extension agreement in place. As such, it more than strains credulity when Riley and Butler act and speak as though Miami will simply run it back in 2024-25 with its current roster configuration and then figure things out later. Thompson is on the verge of hitting unrestricted free agency, and while some like Yaron Weitzman of Fox Sports believe he is in line for a 3-year extension worth $100 million from Golden State, others are paying closer attention to the writing that's been on the wall for approximately a full year now. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.